Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sir Jude, and this is our final video lecture for not only this quarter, but also for the entire school year because this marks our final lesson, which is about factors affecting the reaction rate. In this lesson, we will be specifically detailing the 6 factors affecting the reaction rate. And this morning, I asked you to unscramble the words um, based on the logos and clues, no? So for the first factor, it refers to average kinetic energy of molecules. That refers to temperature. For second factor, an act of mixing substances. This refers to stirring. For the third factor, regenerated material accelerating chemical reactions. We are referring to catalyst. Next is the amount of solute dissolved in a specific amount of solvent. This refers to concentration. Number 5, the dimension of individual particles pertains to particle size. And finally, compatibility of substances is synonymous to affinity. So these are the 6 factors affecting the reaction rate, which are all applicable to your reaction rate exhibit that you demonstrated yesterday. Okay? So in the first exhibit, I asked you to prepare 3 mixtures. So the first, you have water and alcohol. Second is cooking and baby oils. And third is water and cooking oil. And of these 3 mixtures, only the first two setups had solvents properly mixed, while for the last setup, you have uh, the pair of solvents that were unable to mix at all. That's because for the first exhibit, it pertains to the first factor, which is affinity. And the main principle for affinity is like dissolves like. So, for example, since alcohol is dissolves or mixes with water, no? Therefore, alcohol is considered hydrophilic, and hydrophilic substances will dissolve or mix with fellow hydrophilic substances. So, remember that cooking oil did not mix with water on the third setup. That makes the cooking oil hydrophobic. And because cooking oil mixed successfully with baby oil, which is a fellow hydrophobic substance, therefore hydrophobic substances dissolve or mix with fellow hydrophobic substances. And lastly, hydrophilic and hydrophobic substances will never mix at all. And one physical or visual manifestation of them not mixing is the presence of 2 layers. As you can see here, cooking oil is floating above water, not only because of density, but also because of their mismatched polarities. So, if our main concern is to speed up or increase the reaction rate, then therefore there must be a greater affinity between the reactants. All right, let's proceed to your second exhibit, wherein I ask you to prepare 2 glasses of orange juice. No, in the first cup, pala, you have water with 1 tang orange sachet, and in the next setup, you have water and 2 tang orange sachets. So here you have difference in the amount of the solute, which is the tang orange powder. Therefore, the second factor revolves around concentration. So obviously, the fewer the concentration of the reactants, we expect fewer amount of products. Just like in the first setup here, while the greater the concentration of the reactants, the greater the products, the concentration of the products. And if our main goal is to increase or speed up the reaction rate, then therefore, we must have a higher concentration of the reactants. Okay, moving on to the third exhibit, wherein I ask you to dissolve 1 tablespoon of detergent bar in water, and the other setup wherein I ask you also to dissolve 1 tablespoon of the same detergent powder with water. So here, in the first setup, you have a detergent bar which has a compact um, set of molecules compared to detergent powder wherein even if it's solid, its molecules are kind of spread out because it's pulverized. Therefore, when you're dealing with a compact set of molecules versus spread out molecules, then therefore the factor concerned here is particle size. And in particle size, usually associated with what we call the surface area. So how does detergent bar have a lower surface area? Detergent bar has a lower surface area because its molecules are considered compact, or in Tagalog, it's siksik. Yes, solid nga siya, mas sturdy siya. However, because its molecules are clumped together, then therefore its surface area is considered lower. And if you have a lower surface area of reactants, therefore you have a slower reaction rate. As you can see also, there are some particles of the detergent bar settling below the cup. Therefore, it's not completely mixed with water. By contrast, no, detergent powder has a higher surface area because its molecules are considered spread out, therefore easily and effortlessly dissolved by water. Therefore, the higher the surface area of the reactants, the faster the reaction rate. So between the two scenarios, if you want a faster reaction rate, therefore you must have a higher surface area of reactants. Now, for the next factor, I didn't specifically allot a solo exhibit here because all exhibits manifest this specific factor, no? So, in introduction to that, the ingredients on the right are used in baking. So you have eggs, flour, milk, butter, sugar, salt, and yeast. Will you expect them to mix without any accompaniment? So obviously not, because these ingredients are non-living and cannot move by themselves, no? Cannot expect them alone uh to bake without without accompaniment by a person, and you have to use a spoon or spatula, or you whisk them, or in some cases, no, even if it's not baking. For example, if you have beverages such as shakes or smoothies, na you use blender in order to mix your ingredients. And speaking of mixing, no, the fourth factor uh, focuses on stirring. This is basically self-explanatory and the easiest to understand out of all the factors, no? So if you want your reactants to form your desired substance, therefore, if you want a faster reaction rate, therefore, you have to stir the reactants. Because I remember going back in collision theory, the very first assumption there is collision of reactants. And one way to collide them is to stir or mix. All right. So next is exhibit number 4, when I asked the group to prepare Milo drink, one set up with hot water and the other set up with cold water. So judging by the differences in temperature, the second to the last factor is all about temperature. And as you notice, no, uh, it's easier to dissolve Milo in hot water compared to cold water because the average kinetic energy of molecules in hot water is faster compared to that of cold water. Therefore, the higher the temperature, the faster the reaction rate, and the lower the temperature, the slower the reaction rate. So, once again, if you want your reaction rate to speed up or to increase, then therefore the temperature must be higher. Now, for our final factor, no, I ask you to compare the cleanliness of oily spoon uh when you put it in water So naturally, no, pag ang spoon ay oily, no, and if put it in water, it's still considered dirty and greasy, no? So in the first setup, you have oily spoon and water only. And on the second setup, you have oily spoon immersed in water with dishwashing liquid. So naturally, the one with dishwashing liquid will yield us a cleaner spoon. Although you have to still rinse it and wash off using the sponge, no? And in this case, the presence of the dishwashing liquid uh, or dishwashing liquid itself acts as a catalyst, no? So as a catalyst, no, its main goal is to accelerate the reaction rate without being consumed in the process. And what's unique about dishwashing liquid is it has hydrophobic and hydrophilic portions. Some of its portions will stick to the oil part of the spoon, while its other portion will mix with water. No? Para when you wash your spoon properly, no, it will remain clean and free of oil and grease. Therefore, the absence of a catalyst slows down the reaction rate, while the presence of a catalyst speeds up the reaction rate. So, if you want the reaction rate to speed up, aside from the previous factors, when it comes to catalysts must be present. Okay? So to wrap things up, no, the six factors affecting the reaction rate are number one, affinity, number two, concentration, number three, particle size, number four, stirring, number five, temperature, and the last one is catalyst. So a quick exercise. Let's determine the factor affecting the reaction rate and predict whether the reaction rate increases or decreases. Our first example is bread dough rising when microwave. So this is temperature because you increase the temperature in order to expand the volume of the bread dough, no? And because temperature is increased, then therefore reaction rate will also increase. Next, our pancreas secretes the enzyme lipase that breaks down lipids into fatty acids. So the purpose of our lipase secreted by our pancreas is to break down big chunks of fats in or lipids into fatty acids. Without the presence of lipase in our body, every time we eat, no, then probably we will become more and more obese. That's why the lipase in pancreas is very important. Just like any other biological enzymes in our body. And because uh as long as we are alive, then therefore the lipase in our pancreas will be it's like bottomless, no? Therefore, it's never-ending supply. Then therefore, lipase acts as an enzyme, as a catalyst, and the presence of a catalyst increases the reaction rate. Okay. Third example, you have unsliced vegetables prolong the cooking time of chop suey. So if you put your vegetables unsliced when you're cooking, then therefore it will take longer time for you to accomplish your goal, no? And this is particle size, and because the vegetables are unsliced, no, then therefore it will decrease the reaction rate. So all you have to do is just simply slice or chop your vegetables into smaller pieces to increase the surface area. Okay. Number four, beauticians easily remove nail polishes using acetone and water. So for those of you who have experience undergoing manicure or pedicure, no, you know that your nail polish cannot be removed simply by water. All you need to do is to remove using acetone. And using acetone, it has a great affinity with nail polishes, and therefore this is affinity, and it will increase the reaction rate. And finally, you have pure or 100% oxygen burns flames quicker than regular air, which is 21%, oxygen. A lot of you, some of you may have easily answered temperature here, but looking further at the given example, you are comparing the amount of oxygen here. So when we say pure, you have 100% oxygen, and regular air in the atmosphere, which is only 21% oxygen. And because our main concern is the pure one, then therefore we are comparing concentration, and the pure oxygen will increase or speed up the reaction rate. Okay, so that's all for this quarter. That's all for this school year. Sa mga susunod na araw, wala na tayong ibang gagawin kung hindi ang natitirang seat work, then our mastery test, and ang ating inaasahang fourth quarter summative test bago inyong ina-anticipate na moving up. All right, so see you tomorrow. Have a quick review of our lesson today, and always take care. Goodbye.